Hi there, fellow gardeners. This is Kara from Flowers from Revelry, and I just wanted to kind of show you what we do in really hot zones to grow dahlias. So I am in Sacramento Zone 9B, and we are a Mediterranean climate, so we have long wet winters and extremely hot dry summers, long dry summers. We get barely, if any, frost. I don't think we got any frost this last winter, but we did have over 45 days by October, and then we had another week, so I'm not exactly sure how many days, but we had at least 45 days over 100 degrees last year, with a couple of days that topped 110, even 117 degrees. So it is really, really hot, and I just wanted to show you my first dahlia bloom of the season. That variety is called Night Silence, and you can see it has this beautiful dark black leaf foliage. And actually the black leaf plants actually do quite well in our heat, strangely enough. You'd think those black leaves would absorb more heat and get even hotter, but it must act like sunscreen. So anyway, I wanted to show you what I've been doing to try and reduce the heat load on my poor dahlia plants. So this bed right here, and you can see it right here, is full of water lily and dark foliage, water lily, stellar, and dark foliaged varieties. So I have Karma Chalk and Shadow Cat and Salish Twilight Girl and Night Silence and just a whole bunch more, Rivers Crystal, and anyway, a whole bunch. I think I have 49 plants in this bed. This bed is 16 feet long by 3 feet wide, which is kind of my sweet spot for both lumber and for access. So it forms a nice wide enough bed that the soil doesn't dry out too quickly, and you're not wasting a lot of room with walkways, even though my walkways are really wide. And it allows me to reach both sides or even step over the bed if I really need to. So I find this to be the sweet spot. You could also push up to 42 inches across, but I find that 48 inches is really difficult to reach into and maintain. And then you can see I have this white film. This is Biofilm 360. So it is a biodegradable film that has a white side and a black side to it, and you can see I have the white side up because I'm really trying not only to have happy plants but really great tuber production, because I'm hoping to sell tubers to you guys in the fall and spring. So also, sell regionally and share regionally with my fellow dahlia farmers. So one of the biggest goals is to keep the soil as cool and moist as possible for the best tuber production. And I have my plants essentially spaced 12 inches apart on center. They're staggered, so you can see I've got some AC Highway 61, which were donated tubers, but they're just kind of puttering along. I'm not quite sure what's going on. I'm going to try to cool them down a little bit more. And then I have Duet in the center, and these plants are staggered. So you can see here, and then here, and then here, and here. So they're staggered 12 inches apart on center. And then I have these drip lines. So they are 1/4 inch spaghetti drip lines with built-in drip emitters every 6 inches. I have 4 of these. So 1, 2, 3, 4, which fits perfectly, so that I can have drip lines on the outside of the plants and in between the plants. And these are all full of really great compost, and believe it or not, it was up to the top of the bed and it's already sunk down this far. I will end up having to top dress every year, but the initial cost is the most cost. So but the thing with compost, which is really easy to dig the tubers out of, is that it drains really quickly. So it holds moisture really well, but it also drains really, really quickly. So it absorbs very quickly. So if you have your drip emitters spaced too far apart, like 12 inches, then you will get a lot of areas that don't receive any moisture. So I have them 6 inches apart, and the whole entire bed gets gets watered evenly across a space. You don't have dry spots in any of this bed. And then of course the biofilm will help retain that moisture. So we are in a mega drought right now. So I think we're in year 20 plus of a 30-year mega drought. And considering how hot it keeps getting every year, who knows how much longer this will last. So we do try to conserve as much moisture as possible. And so this film will help keep down evaporation as well as shade the soil and keep the roots as cool as possible. It's still pretty warm under this film, but it's not nearly as warm as if it was dark brown soil absorbing all that heat, which is what all these poor grow bags. You can see I have a ton of grow bags. These are 10-gallon grow bags, and I will talk about those another time. I just want to kind of talk about what I'm doing with these beds. So these are my varieties that I am confident are, you know, disease-free and really I know exactly what varieties they are. A lot in the grow bags are unidentified, and these in the beds are my more valuable varieties. So the soil is going to stay more consistent in these beds in terms of moisture, so in temperature, so they will get the best life possible. So these are my rarer babies, and I have 4 of these beds. So you can see I have this one, which I've got a little ranunculus I still need to get out, and that bed, and then that bed over there, which has some black knight pin cushions I just couldn't get rid of. So it's not a full bed. And then you can see I have a couple that died off. So I put in new plants into these beds, and I am covering them with these storage crates just to keep them a little shaded. We get a lot of wind out here sporadically, and pretty much anything will get blown around. So those crates work really, really nicely. But let me talk about these hoops that my husband is building currently. Now, we have done these on our veg bed area, which is in another section of the backyard. And he did this when I wanted to plant tomatoes really early, and we were having some really weird late spring cold snaps. So he has set up these hoops so that I can shade these plants. And I have shade cloth coming, 50% shade cloth coming. It is 10 feet wide, 100-foot long roll, and I am going to cut that in half. It is supposed to not fray. We will see, fingers crossed. And then I will clip it to these hoops. So you can see where these hoops are marked. And we will be putting a PVC along the top. Originally, we were going to put another four-way bracket, but the bending is just a little too tight. So we're just going to strap a PVC pipe to the top of these and then overlay the entire piece with 50% shade cloth. Now, in Sacramento, there's been a lot of debate with my fellow Sacramento dahlia farmers on what level of shade cloth to use. I'm getting 50% because it was the least expensive in the range that I wanted for that length of roll. But I have others who are saying 40%, and I have others that are saying up to 70%. So I'm kind of spanning the difference with 50%. I didn't use shade cloth last year, and my dahlias really puttered along until the weather got cooler and fall. So we're really hoping to prevent that. But you can see what we're doing here is we have these braces here along the side, and they're set 24, this brace right here is set 24 inches above ground, and I will be running twine through those braces to support the dahlias. Now there will be another PVC strapped to here. I don't know if he's going to I think he's going to cut them and put a piece in here, and that will be to give it some extra structural strength, and also to give me a place to clip the shade cloth to, so it doesn't start to bow and wobble. So the shade cloth will be clipped to the brace here, and the brace here, and to the top over here. I still need to get those clips, and then I will have twine that goes from here to there that will intersect in between. And then when it's fall and I don't need that shade cloth, I can either leave these hoops on and just take off the shade cloth, or I can take the hoops off completely, and then they'll have full sun. So, and I will have full access to blooms. But that won't be for several months. So anyway, you can see what we're doing here to give us more shade. And of course, some of the dahlias we'll also do the same here with the hoops in the dahlia bags, except I think we're going to clip to the fence over here. And then I have even more bags over there and more bags over there. So I have approximately 500 plants in the ground. Multiples of some varieties, singles of others, and then a whole bunch of unidentified dahlias. And I do want to give out shout outs to all the people who have given me cuttings, given me tubers. They have mailed them, they have given them to me personally, they have done cutting exchanges with me. I've gotten plants from different varieties from the San Francisco Dahlia fundraiser. And then I had one really wonderful flower farmer who didn't want to work with dahlias any further. Teresa at Treasures at the Barn on Instagram, who just said, come dig them up, and what you can take, take. And she gave me almost all of these in the bag along the side here. Just amazing and generous. And the tags got a little messed up last season for her, so a lot of these are not identified, so I'm kind of waiting to figure out what they are. And once I've figured out what they are, I will label them and divide them, and we shall see. So I am building a business on the generosity of so many people, and they've just been amazing. The ones over in white containers over there, Sharon, thank you so much. I hope your move is going well. Your babies are the happiest of all my babies because they're so far along. I can't wait to see the first blooms, and just really generous gift. And I will take care of them until you're settled, and then I will restock you. So make sure you stay in touch, and I will make sure you know what's going on with your children. So anyway, happy gardening, everyone. I will talk about what I'm doing with these crazy grow bags at another video, but I just wanted to share with you how we are attempting to survive the heat, because if I remember correctly, we're going to be heading up into the upper 90s in the next couple days. So we are scrambling to get these babies shaded. So happy growing, everybody. I hope your dahlias are doing well too. Okay, thanks.